Hello everybody, Andy here again. Well, this is one of those videos that I wasn't intending to make, but Gary Anakin 1814 has just done a video called Who or What Have You Become? Through your life, what things have you done maybe that have surprised you, that have led you on to something different, something you probably never thought you'd ever do. And he was talking about how he's got into running now, and he never used to do that years ago. And I've mentioned the fact that I used to do quite a lot of running some time ago. Myself, when I was at school, I was never a great athlete. I used to play football, and I wasn't bad at things. I got picked for the cricket team and the hockey team, and I didn't even like hockey, but I can't swim. I'm useless at swimming. My wife says that I look like a distressed dog when I'm swimming, so I'm not so I'm not like a sort of an all-round sportsman or anything like that, but I always enjoyed sports, especially watching sports, but never really did anything. And then sort of in the mid-80s, I'm getting on a bit bit long in the tooth, so this is a long time ago obviously, and I used to smoke, and he's a sort of a social person. I used to drink quite a lot as well, as you do when you're that sort of age, aren't you? You're in your 20s or whatever. And I gave up smoking, just one of those things that I did. And I had some mates who were doing a bit of running, but they were quite good at it. They were in sort of athletic teams and things like that. And I thought, it was a bit of a boom in the old running thing over here in the UK. The London Marathon had started up and that sort of thing. You watch that on the TV every year, and it still inspires me to see all those people. I've been lucky enough, I've done the London Marathon 4 times. I haven't done it now for probably about 10 years actually. But an absolutely amazing experience. But come on to that in a minute. And I just started jogging with a mate of mine, and he gave up, and I just carried on. And funny enough, I was just looking, and I found a book I used to keep. And Gary, if I'm sure you'll be watching, get a training diary. Write down when you start running, because obviously you're getting into it. And I used to write down like this all my sort of running, and I've still got it here. This is from 1995 or thereabouts, I think it was, and that's great to look back on. It's great to inspire you. You can write things like that down, and you can see where you were going right, maybe where you were going wrong as well. I know you're a great writer of things, and I like to scribble things down. Keeping a diary like that is a great idea. And if you're ever travelling and go travelling somewhere, take a diary and write a diary, because that's another story. And also I've got a long list of all the races that I've done in my time. And I've just jotted them up, tallied them up actually, and I've done, I'm not bragging, I'm just, please don't, I'm not, I've done 7 marathons overall. I did 4 London marathons, and I did 1 round Hastings, and also the Seven Sisters Marathon, which is over the South Downs. And if anybody knows that, that's quite hard work, but a great experience. Half marathons, I've done 21 half marathons. I find this amazing actually reading back through this. 10 in Hastings and sort of others scattered around all over the place. 10-mile runs, I've done 14 10-mile runs, and 10-kilometre races, which Gary's just done. I've done 12 of those as well. I think I said to Gary I'd dig out my best time, so I thought I'd just let you know. So my best time for a 10k was 38 minutes and 52 seconds, which is not bad. That's not bad at all. And I used to run quite a lot. When I got involved, I actually started sort of joined the running club when I moved down to this area in Hastings, and I used to run quite a lot. And obviously, I was quite svelte at the time, and now I'm sort of filling out in all the wrong places, and I nearly need to get out there and run again. And Gary's sort of inspired me to try and get out there, but it's not easy. The hardest step is the one outside the door. And that's one thing you'll learn when you're running, is that so much of it is in the mind. Either getting out there, having the dedication, maybe the balls sometimes, because a lot of people start this and they're not in the best of physical shape. And it's not easy to go out there running around in public, even if you're in a gym or something like that. And it does take a lot of bottles sometimes for people to go out there. And I've seen people running, and I've really admired them for getting out there and doing it. So if you're thinking about it, get out there, because what you've got to remember, and there's a quote that I was once told, is that here in Britain anyway, and I imagine it's pretty similar across the world, that only sort of like about 1% of the population can actually run a mile. Now, if you're out there and you run a mile, you're better than 99% of the population. Now, think about it in that way. You get out there and you run a mile. A mile's not that far, but you'd be amazed how many people can't do that. And if you get out there, you can just think about that sort of side of things. Get out there, run a mile, and think, yeah, and see them people walking down the street who might be laughing at you. Don't worry, you're better than them, because they're not doing it. And think about it in that respect. Anyway, as I said, so much of the running is in the mind. in a marathon, as I said, I've done 7 marathons, and I always think to myself, is you have to train for a marathon. If you don't train for a marathon, you're stupid, believe me, because you need to, it's a long way. Even a half marathon's a fairly long way, as you can imagine, 13.2 miles or whatever it is. To get a marathon, I always used to think that a marathon doesn't really start until you get to about the 20-mile mark, because then it's all up here, because it's hard work, and you can sort of get your way around. One thing that I've learned through running is it certainly toughens you mentally. I know that can happen in lots of other things, and actually I will do a video about that type of thing sometime as well. But so much of it is in the mind, and it toughens your mind. It makes you force yourself to do things. We can all go along there. If you went out today and had a little run along your road, you'll come to a point where you'll think, I can't do this anymore, I just can't do it. Keep going, keep doing it. As I said to a friend of mine who started running, you get up there, you start running, and if you feel bad, just think to yourself, well, I'll allow myself to have a little walk in a minute. I'll just get to point A or point B, and I'll have a little walk, and you'll get there, and you'll just go that little bit further. And that's how you do it. You just sort of fool your mind, and just sort of mind over matter and all that sort of thing. So as I said, the hardest step is the one that gets you out the front door in the first place. I'm guilty of that at the moment. I need to get out there. But anyway, getting back to this, 10 miles, 1 hour and 4 minutes, a half marathon. My best time was 1:26.16, and that's when I was in pretty good shape, I must admit. And for a marathon, the last marathon I think I did was my best time, and I really trained for it. And it's a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work to train for a marathon, as it is for any race, but a marathon obviously being the ultimate test, I suppose. 3 hours 27 minutes, and I don't think I would ever beat that. But I do feel though that the older you become, up to a certain point, the better you are at running longer distances. Obviously you're running at shorter distances, you're better. One story I will recount quickly, which I didn't realise until afterwards. As I said, not long after I started running, I used to live 30 miles inland from here, in a place called Tunbridge, and lived there for quite a number of years. And I sort of joined up with the athletic club up there, and I actually used to sort of go around and sort of run with the athletic club. I wasn't very good, and I used to do the steeplechase and that. You've seen people doing that on the TV in the Olympics and that, and believe me, that is hard work. God, dear oh dear. I've seen people jump in the water jump and actually fall in the water jump, and it's quite deep. But it's a great experience. Once again, I always used to come last, but it doesn't matter. I got lapped and all that. But we got a point for the team, and it doesn't matter. No one laughs at you there. Everyone encourages you. So think about it that way as well. Get out there. People always clap. If you do a race or something like that, there's always those people on the side. They don't care how old you are, how fat you are, how thin you are, how slow you are, or how fast you are. They will clap to you, and as I said, you're better than them because they're watching and you're running. But with the athletic club, I found out afterwards, I used to go to their training evenings, that there's a double Olympic champion, Kelly Holmes, who she won the 800 metres and the 1500 at the Athens Olympics, I believe, in 2004. She was a member of Tunbridge Athletic Club when I was there, and I don't really remember her, so I've actually run on the track with her. God. No, she must have been the one that was she was the one that was lapping me, I'm sure she was. Anyway, thanks for the video, Gary. Thanks for getting me to talk about this. I've probably rambled. I'm glad to have viewed this before I see what it's like, but I thought I'd recount that. As I said, get out there, give it a go. If Gary's inspired you, hopefully maybe I've sort of pushed you in the right direction as well. Everybody can do it. One thing, just give yourself a little bit of a medical check before you do it. It's always advisable to do that, especially if you're getting a bit old like myself. You need to think about that side of thing. But anybody can run, hopefully, and if you can, get out there. And as I said, it doesn't matter. The first step's the hardest, but if you get out there and you think about it, just start walking for a start. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. Get a bit of exercise, you get some fresh air, you toughen yourself mentally, and you'll be so much better than all those other people who might be watching you from the sidelines. And there's probably a lot of them thinking, I wish I could do that. I actually remember sometime running along the seafront myself, and someone said, oh, I wish I could do that. And I said to the guy, you can. It's only you that's stopping you. And that's the way to look at it. It's you that's stopping yourself do it. It's only you that's stopping you. So get out there, think about it. Make yourself a better person by maybe challenging yourself a little bit. Anyway, thanks for your time. I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.